Into Empire versus i2Hard i2Hard Esports. I've never heard of this team before, but I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the show because I know Empire is a pretty good team, and I'm excited to see more EU games. Basically, ZP, I know you're at least a little bit familiar with Empire. Have you engaged any EU teams recently? I know we've talked a little bit about the EU teams before.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. I actually am not very familiar with Empire at all. I think I've seen them in pubs like once or twice back when you could match against EU, but I don't know much, sadly.
Okay. Alright, that's fine.
Somehow I twisted that into like you not knowing nothing when I didn't know anything, which is awesome. Just complete spin.
You just completely ruined
I just
me.
turned I just turned that on.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine. That's cool.
Take it.
That's understandable. Alright. Let's get on into the picks and bans for this match. Game number 4. Oh yeah, getting into that really cool pick ban screen that the people from Nexus Champ were actually able to come up with. Let's get straight on in. So first pick's going to be Team Empire. Second pick's going to be Team i2Hard. The first ban's going to be coming in. That's going to be a little bit helpful for what type of game we're going to be seeing. Tyrael is the first ban here for Team Empire, and Tychus is the ban out here from Team i2Hard. Two very good bans.
Yep. I mean, kind of as mentioned, Tyrael is a respectable ban depending on what you're trying to set up if you don't want the OT to pick it late, and there's no one in the world that will ever fault you for banning Tychus because he's quite powerful right now.
Yeah, Tychus is just that Odin. And yet again, we see Uther being the first pick on Noodles for Empire. And, you know, again, it's just I think we've been seeing so many Uther first picks here from Empire, from teams. Again, just because of that last patch.
Have any of the Uther first picks won today? Is the bigger question here. I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but I think they've, certainly they've lost.
They haven't lost. I think you're right there.
So there's probably something to the idea that picking Uther first might not be the best idea right now. But I guess we'll see how this game works out.
Tassadar and Malfurion are the two picks out here for Team i2Hard. And those are two pretty solid picks. Tassadar's Archon incredibly strong, and shields, as well as his casting damage, makes him a very, very versatile hero. Malfurion, of course, also really good. I'm curious if he's going to be going for Twilight Dream or Tranquility, since Tranquility did just get massively nerfed.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe go for a double support here and then go Twilight Dream, but it's just a little bit weird to me to see Malfurion getting picked that early when the other team just picked its Uther. You know, I'm interested to the why they do that, because usually if one team picks an early support, you can kind of sandbag and wait till the end to pick your support, because usually teams aren't running two supports. So that's interesting that they picked Malfurion that early if the picks are indeed in order.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I'm curious to see what those double picks from Team Empire are going to be, because they've got Arthas and Diablo. Wow, this is some old school glorious style play out here. We're getting the double tank.
Yeah. Although it's kind of interesting with us and double tank stuff, we sort of strayed away from Arthas Diablo. We thought that, the certain double tank combinations are really good, but we didn't really care for Arthas Diablo result-wise in the end. But both heroes are really good, and, I do think they're going to have to pick some pretty good DPS in their last picks to get things going, though.
Well, they do have a lot of peel if they do want to go for two really heavy-hitting, like a Vala, maybe a Falstad pick here, and just go for some really range composition. And just pretty much just peel and keep those two guys alive. I mean, I think that would be a pretty good synergy with the rest of the team. The question is, what is Team i2Hard going to use to chew through those two really, really tanky heroes and an Uther who's got the strongest heal in the game? Strongest heal in the game next to Ancient Healing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, the Uther can definitely heal Uther and Arthas, particularly Diablo, who does have Amplified Healing, a phenomenal talent. A talent that still makes me cry to this day that got removed from Muradin because, gosh, Muradin could really use that.
Yeah, Muradin needs a lot of help right now. You used to love using Amplified Healing in Stone form, which is a level 16 talent. But we see Sonya and Falstad coming out here from Team i2Hard. And I think Sonya's going to be, at least the first part of that answer is, if Team Empire does go for a very strong ranged hero for the last two picks, Sonya can at least leap on into the back line. And Falstad, of course, with the shock and all, but actually with Falstad pick here, kind of limits the amount of assassins that Empire is going to be able to pick for range if they go for that.
Yeah, I mean, they still have Val on the board. They still have Raynor on the board. Nazebo actually wouldn't be the absolute worst thing either against this comp, just because the only thing that can interrupt it right now is Barb, although Barb is one of the better... It's kind of weird because Barb can interrupt it pretty well with that, but then you're almost kind of forcing the Barbarian not to initiate with Leap, because...
Oh my god. CP's, I'm having a heart attack. They picked Kerrigan Nova!
Kerrigan Nova?
Wow, this is a really... Empire. Empire is just...
That's a lot of melee without a whole lot of damage behind it. I mean, Nova, if she has any real niche at all right now, in my opinion, it would be, you know, early game ganking.
Well, so, I mean, that would be a really good composition. I mean, they can have a really strong roaming gank squad, especially if they have something like Haunted Minds of Arthas, Kerrigan, Nova, maybe. And then just put Diablo and Uther into 2 different lanes for soaking. But that
I mean... They got to be banking on getting a big early advantage with that, because if you don't have a big early advantage with that, they're going to be in trouble. Nova does not always do the best right now.
Yeah, that is a really interesting choice here. And, you know, I think with the Arthas, the Uther, and the Diablo, I mean, they could definitely get very good disengagement, a lot of peeling coming out here from Nova. But, ooh, that last pick out here from i2Hard is going to be a Zagara. So we've got Uther, Arthas, Diablo, Kerrigan, Nova coming out here from Team Empire, and Tassadar, Malfurion, Sonya, Falstad, and Zagara coming out here from i2Hard.
You know, somewhere out there, there's a Vala who's just weeping at her exclusion from this game. Poor Vala.
Who's your favorite Vala player right now in the pro scene?
You know, favorite Vala player, I gotta be honest, I don't really, like, separate people into, like, this is a Vala player, this is the other player. I feel like everyone ends up having to play a bunch of heroes that you don't really think of people as hero mains. Yeah, maybe a little bit on the tank side. Like, you'll think of people as, you know, tank mains or, you know, and whatnot. But it's... I feel like people who play ranged play so many of the ranged heroes that sort of go, yeah, that guy, he plays this hero.
That guy. Alright, well, let's get on into this match. It's going to be on Dragonshire. Let's start the game. Are you ready to go, ZP?
I am ready to go.
Alright, game number 4, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Is that supposed to be the UT guy?
I don't know. Maybe. It is now. Alright. So spawning over here on the right-hand side, it is i2Hard. Or no, this is Empire, isn't it? No.
It was Empire at the beginning, now it's i2Hard.
On the left-hand side. Oh, those team swaps.
Yeah, and don't worry, there's not one but 2 Asphals in the game. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but...
How is that even possible?
Because the battle tag system doesn't care.
Alright guys, so we've got Dragonshire. Let's talk a little bit about the composition coming out here from i2Hard. What are you thinking about it? It's a very, you know, kind of mixed bag here. They don't really have a strong warrior who can tank a lot of damage, except for Sonya. What do you think?
You know, honestly, I don't really know. It's not necessarily bad at stuff, but it doesn't have a huge niche either. And one thing that they do have is that Falstad is really disproportionately good in Dragonshire because of fly and rotation. So, you know, they could just push Cigar bottom here, and then if they ever go on it hard, they can bring Falstad down, and that's actually pretty effective because they can bring the middle down with Tassar really easily, and then the Falstad can fly in. So, oh wow, snipe on Nova misses because of a well-timed Tassar E. Great play by Grimstone.
Wow, really, really well. Can you just pause for just half a second and then just hit go again? And they've got this nice little 3-man going on down here, whereas seems like top lane we've got Fabio who's going to get a snipe off on Lestra, but you know, I think this 3-man bot is actually going to be really strong, as you were saying before. Do you think we're going to be seeing Zagara doing a lot of jungling?
Hard to say. I mean, you know, in games like these, usually it's a team affair always, but she might be able to slip away and do some Ogre camps by their own, especially in this. Like, she could definitely slip away to bottom or her side, and I think they would have the pressure to deal with it. Although Nova is looking to gank. Nova probably wanting to team up with Arthas Kerrigan here and make something happen. Let's see if she will be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what that gank squad we were talking about before this game actually started, that Nova, Kerrigan, Arthas, like, as a gank squad, kind of, they've got a lot of CC, they can keep people still, and Nova can just kind of come in here with a snipe and pinning shot and really kind of seal the deal, but, you know, I'd have to say, i2Hard's playing this very, very safe. They're keeping behind their creeps, they're watching the movements. As soon as, like, Arthas or anybody's really kind of starting to move forward, oh, except for right there, as I was speaking, Leoric is going to get completely crowd control down, and is this going to be another double kill for Konis on Konis?
It's not looking for can he land the W? He does land the W. Barbarian in a lot of trouble, and she is going down. And Sham, I think you've just done something incredible. These games are pre-recorded because of how Heroes goes right now, but you just somehow commentator cursed Zagara after it even happened. I don't even know.
Well, I think you're still just a little bit ahead. Just pause for another second, and then just hit go. Lestra now going to be grabbing the top shrine, and bottom shrine is going to be in favor of Empire. So this is kind of how we've been seeing Dragonshire a whole bunch. Leorc is trying to take out the Giants, but Fabio is going to be able to push him away for now. The Roaches are going to keep the engagement going on, though. That's a cool thing to note, is that you can use your Roaches, even though you're not there, to keep the Giants from healing up and disengaging.
Absolutely. Zagara very good at taking Merc Camp's early line, very good at pushing, definitely her niche, and it looks like they will be able to get these Ogas here, but...
Oh, Fabio is going to get engaged upon by Conus, and it looks like going to be able to get away. Now, one thing about Nova is she doesn't really have too many escape mechanisms. So if she gets engaged upon pretty hard, she doesn't really have a way to get out of that fight.
No, definitely not. It's part of what makes her a little bit on the weak side relative, because teams will exploit that and they will kill her. And hey, Empire might be getting a Dragon Knight here. They have controlled both shrines, and Nova, of all people, in the Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight pushes on.
You know, one thing I've been saying a lot lately is, I don't know if you watch Attack on Titan, but I feel like we need to have a mod where the Attack on Titan theme is going to play as soon as, like, the Dragon Knight comes out. It's just, and it's just going to run over and just, like, kicking down walls and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've actually watched that series, but you really should.
I have not watched it. I've heard nothing but good things, but it's one of the series where I'll watch it and be like, why didn't I watch this earlier?
Well, the Dragon Knight coming in here going to start taking out that turret, but it is going to be issued away because there are 3 people out here from Team i2Hard, and it looks like that turret's finally going to go down. I really like this play, though. Fabio being very, very careful with that Dragon Knight.
Absolutely. And, the Dragon Knight, your ideal scenario is that you want to be at hitting 0 HP right as the timer's running out. If the ratio gets screwed up one way or another, just change your playstyle.
Yeah, and he does kick away the Barbarian. And I really like the fact that i2Hard's kind of split up. They're taking a lot of damage here, but at the same time, they're pushing in bot lane really hard with Malfurion and Zagara. Once we get down to that in the vision, we'll be able to see just how much damage they've done, but it looks like they've done a lot.
Yeah, and you can blame me. Usually camera work, I think, has been pretty good, but for some reason, I'm not interested in looking at that whenever I was recording this.
Apparently, ZP's being a former Protoss player does actually hate Zerg, so he doesn't want to, acknowledge that Zerg heroes are doing a lot.
It's true. Oh, man. He just realized, everyone's going to hate me now. They know I play Protoss. Jeez.
Yeah. I already hated you. I knew that was the reason. I just didn't I didn't consciously know it. I just knew I hated you for some reason. But you can see that Zagara did a lot of damage, and it looks like Empire did grab those Siege Giants. Meanwhile, though, i2Hard playing very nice counter to that strategy, going to grab the bottom Siege Giants.
Yep, and they're actually doing very well, keeping up on Mercs and otherwise. They are a bit down level-wise. My guess is that they're probably down like a quarter level versus Empire right now, but they've been playing this well.
They have been. Actually, yeah, I have to say, I haven't really heard too much about i2Hard. Of course, I've heard about Team Empire and the people who were on it from the Versusphere, but I've never heard of i2Hard before, and I'm actually kind of pretty impressed with their play so far, even though that their team comp is a little bit unconventional. But that's the EU meta, man. That's what I love about these different regions. You start to see these crazy things.
Absolutely, and then just think, when we get to the point where we have custom games and they can start playing each other, you can have all the hype, and we have Zagara. Almost. Is she getting caught by Diablo here? Yes, she's getting slammed.
There is absolutely no way Leorc is getting out of that one. She's going to be completely overpowered and destroyed by Team Empire. And,
I got to tell you, Diablo gives you a party invite. Don't accept it.
Yeah,
Diablo's
definitely. The only party that I'd ever want to go to for Diablo is his Apocalypse party, because, the game's gonna end soon if you're getting hit by everybody's Apocalypse. It's just, you might as well hang out with the devil while that's happening. Meanwhile, it looks like Empire's gonna grab that top shrine, and the bottom shrine's still gonna be in favor of i2Hard Esports.
Empire actually sort of risky to be this split at this point in the game, but definitely paying some dividends, getting the shrine and the knights, and we have Diablo engaging
by himself.
He engaged there, but I don't think he realized that many heroes there. It's like, he's putting Falstead in oh wait, he's dead.
I think he thought it was going to be a fiddle duel, like fiddle duel with the devil, but unfortunately the fiddler brought the rest of his whole entire team and the entire village. The Knights coming in here for Team i2Hard, going to be a very, very strong force out here for them to push that top lane. Noodle's not really moving. The rest of Team Empire, I think, needs to respond to this. They have a lot of things hitting them really hard, and they're losing their towers as well as the gate, and I think this actually could possibly turn into a fort unless people start responding. There we go, Empire now starting to move up here, and it looks like they possibly could go for an engagement. Level 10 has been hit for i2Hard. 11 on Team Empire. Their soaking has been a little bit more superior this game. Asphalt being very aggressive. And there's what a lightning breath coming out here from Diablo. Noodles now going in on Konos. Konos taking a lot of damage. She did use her leap already. A maul coming out here from Leoric. It actually catch 2 of the team members from Team Empire, and that is going to give them a pretty good disengage to get out here as long as Leoric can stay alive, and there is a Tranquility coming out there from the Malfurion.
So I think what happened there, i2Hard just got a little bit discombobulated. Ults got popped, I think, way too early, and then and Tranquility got popped way too late. It was the Ultra all sort of out of sync there, and Empire, you know, very wisely taking advantage of that. And oh my God, Nova was not. She wanted the Dragon Knight, but
is Illidan in this map because Nova was not prepared. Tim is coming in here doing a little bit of damage. Diablo being very tanky, can just kind of go in there and harass, but he's going to be grabbed by an entangling roots. And he's going to be absolutely obliterated there. And while they're going to hang around the middle Dragon Knight shrine, they're not going to actually have the top and bot shrines.
So you know what I think happened there? It's very common where you win a team fight, but the team fight drags on so long that you don't realize that the other team is already back up, and you sort of have a false sense of security. I think that's exactly why Nova found herself on the wrong side of Barbarian Slam time there.
And they're going to grab the bottom jungle, and I'm really hoping that they grab that bottom pair of Siege Giants as well. They do see that Uther is top. They know that they've got the 5-man advantage, at least right now. Tassadar is floating mid, so as soon as Tassadar sees that Uther, I think it's going to be another 5-man engagement. There's the double Siege Giant bot.
Yep, and this is, teams do like protecting the Siege Giants. They want to protect them. They want to be with them. And this is going to be a fight.
This is going to be a pretty good fight. I mean, it looks like we can see Tim coming down here as the pincer maneuver as Diablo? What are they trying to do right now? Oh, they're trying to make this happen before the fort goes down, but unfortunately they're going to take a lot of hits before then, and it looks like they're just not going to be able to even to force the engagement. The Siege Giants are going to be able to take down that fort, and now they don't have an objective to really fight over, and the Siege Giants are going to start targeting those heroes.
Yep, and the Siege Giants so hard to deal with, especially if you notice, they're actually healing them and shielding them. That just makes it even more obnoxious to deal with. The best defense against the 4 Ogre push, don't let them get 4 Ogres.
The proactive choice here. Tim actually going to have to use his Lightning Breath to take out those Ogres, and I actually have to agree there. I mean, Lightning Breath's got a pretty low cooldown, so I think that wasn't too much of a waste. Especially because if they let that kind of reach those gates up there, that's going to be a very large point. Pressure point that and whilst I'm saying that, Lestra gets a very good shock and all, gonna be able to take out so many. A healing ward does go down. Lestra still keeping alive. Tim taking a lot of hits. Empire doing so well. They have demolished absolutely everything from Diablo, and he's gonna get taken out. Fabio, he's beautiful, but his clone is gonna get completely taken out. That's stunt double there. Never beat Fabio's stunt double.
And Konos of i2Hard, they're just really seeing a great opportunity in taking it. That's, you know, classic Barbarian play. See people get a little bit bunched up, use your ult, get follow-up from someone else in your team, like a Falstaff or Witch Doctor, and that was a great engage, great opportunistic play. And this is going to let them, you know, they're not actually going to be able to take that many mercs in that, but they might be able to get a Dragon Knight off this, which is honestly just as good.
Yeah, this is a very good position for them, and it looks like Empire is just desperately trying to get down there and grab that last shrine, but are they going to be the very nice stall coming out here from Noodles, sorry. Uther always walks away, of course, so he's happy to just run in there because he knows he's going to be tanky enough to deal with that. And they are going to grab that bottom shrine and negate that dragon shrine for now, but at what cost?
I just say right there, Kerrigan does not want to walk in the bushes alone at night, because that happens. Like, face-checking a bush with Kerrigan doesn't end well. I speak from experience. And oh wow, Falstad trying to interrupt the Dragon Knight, not happening, actually just feeding for his trouble. And this is a really good swing for Empire. You know, that Kerrigan did just sort of get picked off for free, but Falstad returning the favor, and they have a Dragon Knight that can push with somewhat of an advantage here. This is a great swing of events for Empire. Yeah,
it looks like our blue team went a little too hard, too esports, too quick. Fabio coming in here with the triple tap is going to actually not be able to take out Aquaman. There is a Really nicely placed healing ward, going to keep everybody alive pretty well, but Tim is doing so much damage to that fort. Now they need to start getting a pretty good advantage here for Empire. I mean, they're pretty much on par in levels, but there is a level 16 advantage out here from i2Hard. A very nice leap coming here. Fabio taking so many hits. Leoric going straight on in there, but they are going to be happy with just a disengage, and they're just going to try and take out that Dragon Knight. Lightning Breath coming down here yet again, and the Tranquility is going to cancel that out for the most part. Tim going to go down.
Yeah, value not really obtained. You know, he probably had a better chance to live if he just left out. I don't know if you thought that they would escape or not, but it's like, oh, we slayed the dragon. It's still breathing fire. It's actually not that damaging.
You know,
just kill him.
you know, if a Diablo had an apocalypse, everybody would have gone to that party. But a lightning breath party, nobody wants to go to that type of party. So I think the rest of Empire was like, dude, nobody wants to go to your party. I'm sorry.
It's called lightning breath in some circles, but in other circles, it's called hyperhalitosis. And man,
it's like trying to be Zagara as the stinky kid, but it just doesn't work out so well. Oswald coming in here. He did grab the Siege Giants, which is very good. But it looks like i2Hard is going to be able to grab those before they're actually effective at all.
Yep, i2Hard definitely starting to control the pace of the map a little bit more than Empire is now. You know, it's really been back and forth so far. Like, I think more so than most of the games that we've casted today. I honestly right now could not tell you who would win, especially because even though I did the camera work, I don't remember. I was just following the action.
Hey man, it's better that you don't remember, so you keep hype up, right?
Exactly. Oh my god, the Maw.
Oh, very, very nice Maw. It's going to allow a very nice setup and a really nice Entangling Roots leap and everything else. Shock and Awe did so much damage. Oswald taking so many hits. Fabio trying to get the triple tap, but it doesn't really do as much damage as they really needed there. And they've got this Siege Giant push. Tim yet again falling down. Diablo, man, he is dying a lot. And I mean, I know he's the devil and he's supposed to be in hell, but he's spending way too many times there. Leoric is just really aggressive for a Zagara.
This is actually pretty good. This could be I mean, they have 4 heroes down for 15 seconds. They're pushing in. The ogres aren't helping, but...
Thanks for the zoom-in, CPs.
Oh, actually, that was a total accident. I think I was responding to a text at the time, and it's like, oh crap, I hit the wrong thing.
No passion, and it looks like the core is gonna go down, which means i2Hard. Yeah. Going too hard is going to win them a game. Empire is going to fall. What is this, the British Empire?
You know, it's kind of funny. I don't follow the U scene, but would this be considered an upset? i2Hard taking out Empire here?
I don't know. Oh, wrong transition, MLG production. I actually have no idea whether or not that's an upset. Because we don't know the EU scene, because both of us are from the North American scene. But
we just pretend it's an upset to build hype. You're like, yes, yeah! An upset! I am hype. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So hype. Actually, you can't look hype. Like, I can look hype right now. Like, you just have to sound hype. I at least have the ability to do facial and, you know, everything else. But
so I
you're just a floating icon.
Before you even go into it this time, you've made me do 2 impressions. There is a request for this in chat. Now, they were asking for me, but I'm flipping this on you. After we get back, I want to hear your best Millhouse Mana Storm.
I actually have no idea what Millhouse Mana Storm sounds like.
No, you can't. What?
I don't.
Oh,
I
no.
don't play Hearthstone enough to know that.
Oh, it's like a gnome who says, you know, beware the might of Millhouse Mana Storm, like in a really high-pitched voice.
The only thing that I know from a gnome really well was my roommate in college was a gnome mage. And the one thing that I always heard all the time was he kept spamming his spells even though it was back up. So I always heard, I'm still recharging! All the time. Oh my god, drove me crazy. Anyway, I'm going to look up Millhouse Mana Storm while we're on this break on my cell phone so I don't actually play the sound over stream. But we'll be right back, guys. This is the Heroes Premier League, hosted by Nexus Champ. I am Champ2. Join with me is ZP TV. Stay tuned.